Look at that, guys, that came up great, didn't it? The artwork on the back of the box. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel from Woodworking with Dash, and today we're going to make these 3 pen holders to hold all the marking pens for a friend of mine. She's done all the artwork on the back of them. Magnificent, aren't they? So come on a journey and we'll make these 3 boxes right now. Good looking pen trays, aren't they, guys? I made the bodies out of this finger jointed walnut. I got it from the big box store ages ago. They didn't have many slabs left, but I bought them all, 16 of them. But we don't normally get walnut in Australia. I like using sustainable timbers in my woodwork, guys. It's good for everybody, good for the environment. It's good for woodworkers. Okay, and the trays are going to be made out of Fijian kauri. I've got a whole heap of this Fijian kauri in my shed. So it's a fairly soft timber, so it'll be good for making the trays. But they're going to be very thin, about 1/4 of an inch. So okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to what I call slab up the timbers. Get the timbers in slab form, so you know what you get out of each slab. So you know you've got enough to do the job. Just cutting them down on the saw now. Just slabbing them up, as I say, to make sure you've got enough timber. And docking them to size, and they're all oversized, the slabs. Running them through the small saw, running down the guts. But I've got to cut all these in half now on the bandsaw. And by running them over the small saw first, it helps guide the blade down the centre, so you don't get any blade wobble. It's easy, guys, easy as. Look at that. See with the big stack behind me, that's what I got to do. And they're the big backs. They were 1 foot high, 300 high. Had to take my time getting through them, but the bandsaw worked great. You see how I put the slabs of timber through the small saw first, so that cuts a lot of the meat off. And also gives the bandsaw guides, because we've already cut the top and bottom, so you get less waver on your blade. Because some of these are fairly thick, and if you just put them straight through the bandsaw, you could twist the saw as it goes, and once you start to twist, you can't stop it. Okay, so we've got these all ready to go through the thicknesser now, so I'll put them through the thicknesser, and then we can put the grooves in for the trays. I'm just putting them through the thicknesser now. I put them through one at a time. I could put them through like one after the other, let them fall on the floor. But hey, I'm retired and I don't want to pick stuff up off the floor. Haha, if you know what I mean, when you're 72 years old. Another day, another dollar. Dollar a day, not very much, guys, is it? Let's get into it. Okay, guys, it's a new day. And last night I cut the timber down the guts on the bandsaw, and then the day was over. So before I went, I stacked the timber up on my box here and put a heavy weight on top. Because when you cut timber down the guts, you release a lot of tension, especially if they're thin. These are about 1/2 inch thick now. So if I would have just above a knot like that, the top one would have curled up for sure, and maybe some of the others. You got to keep a bit of weight on to start working with them again. Just another trick I'll show you to keep your stock flat as you can. The first job we've got to do today is to put the trench in, or put the rebate in for the centre division. So we'll do that first, guys. Okay, just running them over my table saw now. And you see how I keep turning them around? That keeps the groove in the centre. Took about 4 passes, I did just stop about 4 times. Putting in the grooves. Router table with a 1/4 inch router cutter, using my saw fence as a guide. And that's the division going through now, but that had to be done both sides. There's a lot of groovy going on there. Groovy, baby. Okay. All the grooving is finished. Rebraiding, I suppose you call it, in America. So that's all done. Thank you. There's a lot of work. And I've got the groove done for the centre division. The pieces now are oversized, which is good, because a lot of them chipped out when they went through the router, which is fine. So now I can just put a small, I can cut them to size now. So I'll cut the front edge and then I'll miter the back edge. So these boxes are going to be mitered all the way around. So for the time being, the centre division, we don't need it for the minute. We're going to put the box together first, and then we'll slide the centre division in. So let's not get confused there. It's very easy to get confused when you're doing all this grooving. Everything you do now, you've got to make sure the grooves are all in line. So whatever you do to one side, you've got to do to the other side. Otherwise, they're going to be skew-if. Okay, we'll cut these to size, and we'll start mitering. Doing the long miter now on the top of the box. Careful then. As I said, you've got to keep your wits about you. So easy to get confused, which side's up, which side's down. But I have stuffed them up. I didn't stuff these ones up, but I have stuffed other jobs up. And now doing the mitered on the ends. Putting them together with the masking tape method now. Roll them over, glue them up, and just roll them over, and oops, put the last bit of masking tape on before we use the box clamps. And the first box clamp going on. And that's the second. Remember, I've got 3 boxes to do. And that's the first back going on. It's all taped up, it's all glued up. Just taping it up now to keep it in place until I cramp it. Cramp on each corner and one in the centre. There you go, all done, all cramped up. And now putting the splines in with a 1/4 inch router bit in my router there. And I used pine splines, but I wanted something light. We're getting there now. Got the splines all in the boxes, ready to be sanded down. I got the division in there, and there's been a change of plans, guys. I'm not going to use Fiji and Cowrie for the trays. There's just too many of them. I'm going to go through too much timber. So I decided to use 6mm MDF. And I'll sand them and polish them up, and they'll look good in the trays too. Alright, so the next trick is to cut all the splines down, and then we can sand up the box, round over all the edges, and then we're going to laser a picture on the back. So Samantha can colour it in, but Thee's going to hold all our colouring pencils. There'll be a great picture on the back of each box, and then we can spray them up. Just cutting the splines now, and rounding over all the edges. See how I back cut everything first before I go forward? That helps with tear out. Okay, the boxes all rounded over, ready for their final sand. The next thing we've got to do is to laser the stencil on the back so Samantha can colour it in before the final polish. And I've got all the MDF, 6mm MDF cut. 27 pieces at 400, that's what it took. So that would have been a lot of timber. Okay, so the next trick is to laser in the stencils. Okay, just lasering the stencils now. Leave the 3 flowers in a vase. Being lasered in, ready to colour in. Now the pot of paint, a bird in flowers, and the 3 flowers in a vase. Now Samantha just colouring in the paint tray now. I got the boxes back from Samantha. She did a great colouring in job. Look at that, guys. What a great job. Okay, the next step is we have to cut all our little shelves, the 6mm MDF. There's a lot of them. So I've got to fit all them into the boxes now, and then we can polish, and then we're done. Yay! Just polishing the boxes now. That artwork comes up magnificent, doesn't it? With the walnut background. It really pops, as I say, really pops. Same with the bunch of flowers. That's great. And just cutting the trays now. There's 54 of these I've got to cut. And fitting them to the box. We're finished. What an odyssey this job was. It took forever. I've got all the shelves in there to hold all the pens. Look at the artwork on the back. Magnificent, isn't it? And the polishing job come up great. And there they are in Samantha's house at a desk, with a colouring book all ready to go. Guys, thanks for joining me today, and please join me next time where I probably will be making another birdhouse, I suspect. Not pen boxes, but I might, who knows. But I like making unusual. See you guys.